Good evening, traders. Zach here from the Trading Network. Hope you guys are doing well. It is Thursday, February 11th, and I've got another daily market profile recap for you. So starting off with the key levels from this morning that I was looking at pre-market. First and foremost, I was interested in the all-time high, which was also the overnight high from the February 10th session, the overnight session to be precise. Second level, I was looking at 39.26, which was the prior range high. Going over to the market profile here, you can see first level right there, 39.2850. Second level, 39.26. Third level was the overnight high, again right there. Fourth level I was looking at was the POC from the February 9th session, 39.0575. That was this level right here. And the fifth level I was interested in was the overnight low at 38.95 right there. All right, so moving into the bulk of the analysis from the trade plan here, you can see that I was mentioning that overnight inventory was relatively balanced, which means that we didn't have, for instance, overnight inventory 90% short, 90% long, where a large majority is above or below settlement price. You can see settlement was right here at 39.03, and it was closer to 50-50 or maybe a 70-30, something like that. And when I see something like that, that is a slight imbalance, and you can see that we have a slight imbalance to the upside because there is indeed a little bit more price action or business done above settlement price than below. Now, we were looking to open above yesterday's value area, but within range. Now, what that means, to be precise, is we were looking to open, if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see O period is right here around 39.16. And here is yesterday's value area between 38.92 and 39.09, these blue lines right here. So you can see that we were opening above the value area, but within the range from the previous session. Now, similar to earlier in the week, as I discussed in my previous videos, when we have an open outside of value but within range, this means that there is a higher probability of bracketing or ranging price action, but with slightly more directional conviction than if we were opening within range and within the previous session's value area as well. Based on this, I was looking at the 39.15 overnight volume point of control as the line in the sand level. If price could move and hold above that level on open, I was going to look to take conservative long opportunity towards the prior range high and the all-time high at that 39.2850 level. On the flip side, if price could not hold that overnight VPOC level, I was going to be looking for a move down to yesterday's range high, and if that broke, I was going to look for a move down to yesterday's value area high and ultimately lower if that did not hold, which it did not, and we actually got a move much closer to the prior range low at 38.78. So you can see today's low here at 38.8450, prior range low 38.78 and a quarter. So one thing I also did want to mention is the method for estimating the range potential that we use for the open within range and value profile open also applies here when we open within range but outside of value. So for those of you guys who have watched my previous videos, previous recaps, when I talk about opening within range and value, you'll know that we can take a measurement. For instance, you can see I have here a measurement of the previous profile. We can superimpose that on a level from a previous profile as well that is likely to hold as an extreme high of day or low of day, and then we can use that to take a measured move, if you will, to estimate the next session's range potential. So that is something that I talk about very often. So if you guys haven't heard about that or have not heard me talk about that specifically, feel free to go check out some of my other videos. I will link one here in the video that specifically talks about that open within range and value. And more importantly, I think that if you guys are interested in that topic and you haven't read Mind Over Markets by Jim Dalton, that is a very helpful book where you can really get an idea of what these different profile opening types mean and how you can use them essentially instantly on open to give you high probability trade opportunity. So moving down into the scenarios, you can see, just to reiterate, upon open that I was looking to see if we could get acceptance above the overnight volume point of control at 39.15. If we could move and hold above that level, I was going to be looking for a move up to yesterday's range high and likely new highs. We did not get that move. If we could not hold above that 39.15 overnight point of control, overnight VPOC to be precise, I was looking for shorts down to the value area high and prior POC at 38.99. Now, once we move down into the summary here, we will get into the targets more specifically. You can see that, again, line in the sand, that 39.15 level. We'll go ahead and pull that up on the chart. Overnight VPOC, 39.15. And the first target that I had to the upside was 39.1850. 39.1850 was the overnight high. We discussed that as well. 39.26 was my second upside target. That was the prior initial balance high, also the prior range high. Third upside target was that all-time high of 39.2850. The fourth upside target I had was 39.2950, and that was actually a VWAP level that I had. That was the third upper deviation of VWAP. And my last upside target was Fibonacci pivot R3. So if we just hop over to my main chart real quick, I'll show you guys what we got here. All right, so I just wanted to quickly move to the regular chart in combination with the profile to give you guys an example of how you can use these profile levels, as I like to do. So this is just for you guys who are new to the channel, etc. This is how I use the profile in combination with my regular chart. I have the profile here to the right. I have got my regular candlestick chart with some of my indicators, part of the Trading Network Proprietary Indicator Package. We have got the opening range indicator. We have got the VWAP bands. We have got a couple of the proprietary momentum oscillators as well. And especially in ranging price action, these oscillators can really shine. So you can see how we opened up here. Again, this is New York opening range. So we opened here, and we operated very nicely between these opening range levels, overnight volume point of control, and the overnight high. So just from having those two profile levels, check out the scalp opportunity that you have. Pre-market, after the open, just little scalps off these levels, right? And we've got that VWAP level right there for further confluence. You can see price moves right down to the prior value area high, where we have more trade opportunity. We have bullish divergence on our oscillators. A lot of good setups. I love trading ranges for many reasons. One reason is, if you guys are not familiar, price is ranging 70 to 80% of the time. So if you can get good in a market context, the majority of time is showing, then you're very, very likely going to be a profitable trader. So these are the kind of setups that I look for, bullish divergence at profile levels, rejection off of the profile levels, rejection off of profile levels in combination with VWAP levels, Fibonacci pivots, opening range levels, moving averages, all sorts of things like that. The more confluence I can get, the better. So, for instance, we have a VWAP deviation right here, slicing right through Fibonacci pivot R1. If price moved up to that level, for instance, that would be a good area of confluence to look for a trade opportunity. So just scrolling through here, you can see that we got a ton. Look, here's another bullish divergence setup. Zooming out, look, this is basically the same setup. Sure, it comes a little bit lower. This is London opening range. So this is also a part of the indicator package that we have. We use the opening range indicators because they give us high probability areas of trade opportunity. So you can see here within, let's see how much time this was. So about 45 minutes. So you have two at the minimum excellent setups that you can take advantage of using profile levels, opening range indicator, oscillators. I mean, again, really, really clean bullish divergence. Great candlestick structure. If you guys have watched my local highs and local lows video, that is going to discuss, one of my entry points, or what I use as my final entry trigger, if you will. So with that said, again, not going to go too far on a tangent, but this is a really good example of how incredible these profile levels will work. Look at this, right down to the overnight POC, which coincided with, again, Fibonacci pivot level, PP, pivot point to be precise, and price operated very, very nicely between these profile levels. So let's move back into the profile and go through these targets, and we'll start to wrap up here. So the upside targets we rolled through. Let's go through one more time, just very, very quickly here. Let me get rid of these drawings. So first upside target hit was 39.18. It was actually the only upside target that we hit. That was the overnight high, 38.1950 to be precise. And on the downside, after we lost that 39.15 overnight VPOC level, we moved through those downside targets throughout the rest of the day nice and swiftly. So first downside target was 39.1225. 39.1225 was an overnight high and a regular trading hours high right here. I'm going to draw a box around both these spots. So overnight high from February 8th into February 9th session, and also range high from the February 9th regular trading hour session. So I like that level quite a bit. Once we broke 15 to the downside, that was target number 1. Target number 2 was 39.1075. 39.1075 was another nice level that I was looking at right below prior range high, overnight high. That was the value area high from the February 9th session. Third downside target, 39.0950. You can see that was the value area high from yesterday's very, very wide range session. The fourth downside target was 39.0575, that level that we spoke about briefly earlier, which was the point of control and also part of our key levels, which was the point of control again from that February 9th session. So quite a few of our targets, if you will, were from the February 9th regular trading hour session and, of course, the overnight session as well. So that one was hit nicely. We did not quite get there in the initial balance, but we got there a little bit after the initial balance formed. And the final downside target we hit was a naked point of control. That was yesterday's POC right here at 38.99. You can see I have that labeled right here as prior POC. And that is a very likely level, especially if we break, a line in the sand type level, to be filled or be tapped in the next regular trading hour session. So for those of you guys who are not aware, a naked point of control is a point of control that is formed and that is not tested. So where I have this naked point of control labeled, you'll see that it was tested in the overnight session, but it did not close or it was not tapped until this level was actually tested in the regular trading hour session. So if you guys use NinjaTrader, use the market profile, and you see a naked POC and you see it go through an overnight session, it's still naked because it hasn't been tapped in a regular trading hour session. So furthermore, if you see price around a naked POC, especially in a regular trading hour session, very, very high probability that that level is going to basically suck price into it like a magnet. So keep an eye out for those levels, and it got tapped very nicely. We violated that. We crossed down prior IB low, prior value low, and worked our way down to that 84 level, which had some confluence there as well. To be fair, we had overnight high from 4th into 5th. I'm sorry. We had initial balance high from the 5th session. We had overnight low from the 7th into 8th, and we had the range low from the 8th session. So there was definitely a lot of good confluence for price to bounce in that level as well. And we got a nice single print buying tail in that area. And that was basically telling us that the higher time frame players, other time frame players, larger players, if you will, are more interested in buying and think that that is a cheap area or a good place to go long. Just to wrap up here, as always, I want to take the time to thank you guys very much for watching this content. I greatly appreciate you guys, and those of you who take the time to like, subscribe, and leave a comment as well. It really helps to know what you guys think of this stuff. Furthermore, check out the links in the description below where you can get access to our free Facebook group where I release these trade plans on a daily basis. We release trade plans for both ES and NQ for those of you guys who trade NASDAQ futures as well. You'll also find access to our website in the description below, thetradingnetwork.io, where you can find information on one-on-one mentorship with me. I offer 4-week programs, 10-week programs, and a few other varying lengths. You can also get information on joining our private Discord group, where you can watch me and the Trading Network team trade live daily at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You'll also get information on access to the Trading Network Proprietary Indicator Package, which you saw a little bit in this video. Last but not least, you can get information on the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, which is our comprehensive course on trading futures that is built to take anyone from a beginner or a seasoned trader and give them multiple strategies for varying market conditions. With that said, I want to thank you guys one more time. Appreciate you being a part of the Trading Network, and I will see you in the next video.